buddies, it's your girl AyChristene, and today we're checking out my rather terrible history with sports by Let Me Explain Studios. Links down below to become a patron to get the uncut reaction to all the shows and anime we check out, like Destiny, Hey Destiny, Zari, Hey Zari, Victor L. Thurman, Katie, Froggy Chick 5, and Young Rabbit. Links down below, like I said. Now let's get started. I'm so glad. What a daunting beginning. Oh, is that like the ghost of her childhood dog?
Research now that, you know, this one has arrived. He's able to leave the treehouse, but can't, or maybe won't, follow me out of the woods. He's a lot quirkier now that he's a ghost. Oh, but we can talk about that later.
Okay.
Given a lot of sports are going on this time of year, and none of us nerds can escape their influence on society, no matter how hard we try.
I like
made me think
sports.
of my own very complicated history with athletics. Let me explain. I showed a general disinterest in sports really early in life.
Okay.
While I did occasionally enjoy some backyard baseball with the neighborhood kids, I was much more motivated by creative things.
Hilarious.
Like putting on plays in our living room, singing,
Makes
dancing,
sense.
and building things. But my parents wanted Rachel and I to be on sports teams. For some reason.
I do want to do that with my daughter.
One of the first kids sports that a lot of us American kids are signed up for by our parents is t-ball. What is t-ball? T-ball is basically baseball with the position of the pitcher removed. Apparently, we can't let 4-year-olds with no hand-eye coordination throw balls at other 4-year-olds holding bats.
Very true.
Also have no hand-eye coordination.
Very true. Very true.
Instead, you put a ball on a tee in front of the batter, so it's super easy to hit.
Yes.
Even though 9 times out of 10 they end up hitting the tee and the ball bounces away awkwardly.
100%, I would do that.
Hits the ball and you scream at them to run to first base while all the other kids are being screamed at by their adults to
Hilarious.
pick up the dang ball. Fun. In fact, it was so fun that when I was on my t-ball team, I would sit down and draw pictures in the dirt with my finger.
Really?
My portfolio. T-ball is a very American first-time sport for kids, but I was curious about what other countries typically force their kids into. I asked all my non-American viewers in a community post, and after reviewing all of the data, it seems like no matter what region of the world you're from, football/soccer overwhelmingly reigns supreme. Look, even I did it when I was a kid. Though really, I shouldn't be too surprised given the whole world loses its mind over the dang sport every couple years.
They do.
Swimming was also a very common one you guys talked about.
Yeah, my daughter did that for a while.
It's a vital human skill to have. 71% of our world is covered in water.
Very true.
You probably know how to swim. Even
I
was
need
on a
to
community swim
do
team
that.
when I was a kid. Mom says I quit because I said it got too hard, but I think I just got bored. Just swimming back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
I would like to do it.
Marco Polo. In fact,
Hilarious.
I'm sure that's why I quit a lot of sports when I was a little kid.
You got bored?
I'm so bored. Can't we play something else? It feels like we're always playing this game, like every Saturday.
That's what it is.
I have always been bad at, like on a cosmic level.
Like
no
what?
matter how hard I tried or how much I practiced,
Not
I
I'm
was
floating behind
destined
her.
to suck. Basketball was that for me in middle school.
Oh,
The way
Lord.
my very small private
Choose
school
your
worked
Squid
was
Game.
If you were a girl, your choice was cheerleader or sports team. You had to be one or the other. And because this adorable little socially awkward nerd was never going to be cheerleading material, I was forced to be a bench warmer for the basketball team. And I hated every moment of it.
Oh,
But
wow.
the one time I got even a glimpse of happiness while playing, it was stolen away from me. The girls
really?
was practicing during PE one day while the boys sat on the bleachers watching us.
Okay.
During this scrimmage, I was past the ball and miraculously made a basket.
Yay.
And the thing you have to remember is I never made baskets. I was so bad, I assumed every attempt at competence on my part was going to be foiled by the universe.
Oh, wow.
So when I scored that 2-pointer,
Uh-huh.
I got excited enough to give myself a little cheer. But after the game, I was approached by the boys in my class who had been watching.
All
And
right.
I promise you I'm not joking here.
Okay.
These boys had arranged themselves and were posing like a gang of bullies in an anime. The leader
Really?
of the gang, the meanest boy in class, dead center with all the other boys surrounding him.
What?
The boy said very coldly, "Hey, Rebecca, you acted like you've never scored a basket before in your life." And the boys around him all laughed.
Oh,
Well, I
Lord.
was so shy and sensitive and non-confrontational that I just blushed and ran away.
Oh,
Tears welling up in my eyes.
no. No.
Ugh, kid. Sure hope you enjoy your future of loveless marriages that both end in divorce without custody.
Oh, snap. Oh, Lord.
Paradox that can sometimes happen in a person. Where
Oh,
you
so
are
she
very
probably
good at
knows the
something,
not
but
knows the
keep
future,
doing it
but that she was telling us what happened to that guy.
with every fiber of your being. enter softball. My parents signed me up for a league outside of school, I think about the time I started middle school, and my big mistake was showing I had natural ability.
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
picked up softball skills very quickly and was actually a pretty good player. The problem was I was only a good player during practice. Because here's something fun I discovered only just this year in my late 30s. I've had an undiagnosed anxiety disorder for my entire life. So when it came time for game day in this softball league, I would get so nervous that all of my skills flew out the window, especially when I was up to bat.
Oh, no.
Did that work? Did I scare you? Live action, Becca, what are you doing here?
Yeah, what are you doing?
No, seriously, what are you doing here? You're kind of creeping everybody out.
Hilarious.
I felt like this next bit was getting a little too wordy for animation, but I think it's important and nuanced, and I wanted to be thorough. But don't worry, I have visual aids.
Oh,
so one
okay.
of the big reasons I dreaded game day in this softball league was my dad. Now, I love my dad. I miss him. He had many great qualities. He showed me so much love and support while I was following my dreams, but he was human.
Right.
And complex and flawed,
Okay.
as we all are.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
this
yeah.
particular instance, he didn't handle things the way he should have. So for my softball activities, Dad became the main parent, bussing me around for practices and games, while Mom was more responsible for Rachel's activities at the time. But he became one of those sports dads that took things way too seriously.
Oh, Lord.
Because every time I messed up during a game, he would angrily yell at me and scold me on the ride home.
Oh, no.
Lecturing me about what I should have done better. And since I messed up pretty much every game because of my anxiety disorder, this happened almost every single time.
Oh,
One
no.
game was particularly bad. I think I was at the end of my rope. I was burned out and depressed and tired and wanted to be anywhere other than playing center field in this ball game. Suddenly, a ground ball was hit directly to me, and I just didn't get my glove down in time. It passed right through my legs, costing us a couple runs, and ultimately the game. And my team was actually really good because this was our first loss all season.
Oh, no.
All because of me. I was overcome with dread, imagining what Dad was going to say.
Oh, no.
But one of the worst parts about it was he was so mad that he didn't say a word to me the first half of the drive home.
no.
I think a lot of you know that situation, that piercing, deeply uncomfortable silence.
Yes.
It made me so anxious that I just couldn't take it anymore. Halfway through the drive, I meekly asked, Dad, are you mad at me? And I sometimes wish I didn't ask because that's when the floodgates opened. He began to scream and yell and rant and rave about my mistake, about letting the team down, my work ethic, etc., etc. He told me that even my coach approached him after the game and asked him, does she even want to play? He then began to scream at me that I shouldn't be playing softball for him, I should be doing it for me, and while that is completely true,
you're the one
message
who
was poorly delivered.
Right.
I didn't have any life experience or wisdom at the age of 12 to understand what
and
that
you
meant
didn't want to
in that
do
moment.
that.
And I certainly didn't have the confidence or the emotional intelligence to help my dad understand my anxiety on game days. In that moment, I was just upset that I was getting yelled at and that I had let my father down. So I didn't end up quitting that season, I just tried harder. I still had the same anxiety during games as I always did, if not more now, but I didn't make any more game-costing mistakes. Now, I don't tell you this story because I want you to feel bad for me or to be mad at my dad. That's the last thing I want. No, I tell this story because I want every kid out there to know that your happiness matters. And just as my dad was ineffectively trying to tell me on that car ride home, you shouldn't do something just because you think it's what your parents want, or what your friends want, or classmates, or school, or church, etc., etc. Now, sometimes you have to work with your parents, find a sport to stay active, join a club to learn some skills.
Something.
You are allowed
Sometimes.
to keep searching until you find the right one for you. Just because Dad played football doesn't mean you have to. Just because Mom didn't fulfill her dreams of becoming an actor doesn't mean you have to.
Right.
Repeat after me. I am not an extension of my parents. I am me. Take this as permission from Mama Becca to advocate for yourselves, darlings.
Yes.
And you know, softball wasn't all bad. I retained some pretty useful skills.
Okay.
Like throwing accuracy. Once when I was in high school, a few years after quitting softball, David was outside running around and playing with his best friend, who also happens to practically be my little brother, Brooks. This guy, from this story. Like annoying little siblings, the two of them came up and started talking some crap.
Hilarious.
And then, like little cowards, they ran away. I picked up a spongy water ball that was floating in our pool, took aim, and threw it into the distance. And bam!
Yes!
Got Brooks square in the head. Ha, still got it.
Good
So,
job.
did I ever find a physical activity that I actually liked and was very good at? You bet.
Okay,
and you
which
probably
one?
already have an idea of what it is.
No.
Slap a fin and some seashells on me
Oh,
and steal
swimming.
my voice because your
Swimming.
girl is secretly a mermaid. Swimming and scuba
Okay.
diving became my main sport, and Mom was my big support in it. Kind of helps that she liked it just as much as I did.
That's
because of being on
good.
the swim team in early childhood and then taking on scuba diving, I have always been exceedingly comfortable in the water.
Is that
even
a
to this day. It's
shark?
probably the
Not a
one
shark, a
physical
whale
skill I
underneath you?
take any morsel of pride in. Even though I never competed on a swim team in middle school or high school, I still had some skills. One time,
Okay.
my parents signed me up for marine biology camp. And because the campers were going to spend a
Oh,
lot of time in
really?
the water all week, the camp counselors made us take a swim test. We
Oh,
basically
okay.
just had to swim the length of a large swimming pool back and forth one time, and the counselors insisted it wasn't a race. We could
Okay.
take our time completing it. But one girl in the group kind of forced my hand.
What,
was
did she?
bragging a lot about being on her swim team back at school, and all the
Oh,
other girls
Lord.
were fawning all over her
Oh,
and hyping her up because
Lord.
of it. And me, being a competitive, chubby girl looking to prove herself at all times, said,
You're like, I'm gonna
"Oh,
show you.
It's on. Ready, set, go, and I was off like a torpedo. When I say all the self-esteem I had left in my heart was on the line, I mean it. I was
Really?
gonna prove to everybody at this camp that I was the true queen of the sea.
Wow.
I shall be the one millennial middle school girl with a marine biology phase who actually
Wow.
becomes a marine biologist. Steve
Okay.
will be so proud.
Wow.
Jumping left and right, having to stop in the middle of the pool to catch their breath.
Okay.
I didn't even see swim team girl, but I didn't care. This single race that's not actually a race will forever change the course of my entire life.
Oh!
Woo! Look at you go, Rebecca.
Oh, she came up after.
Woo! Okay, I think that time I took it too seriously.
She was
And
so
I don't want to
excited.
disparage poor swim team girl too hard. She's allowed to take pride in the skills she worked hard for, just as I took pride in myself
True.
that day. You just can't be braggy about it.
But she was
okay? That
bragging
goes for
about
you
it,
too.
yeah.
I think the whole moral of this video should be boiled down to this. Pursue the sports and activities and hobbies that get you excited. Something where you wake up
True.
every day and you can't wait to push yourself and get better. Not because you think it's what someone else expects of you.
Bite
Now,
me is
what
hilarious.
I expect of you is to make it safely out of my woods and enjoy the cold weather. And keep an eye on your ghost pets.
Okay.
Thank you so
Oh, oh. Okay. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I was a little scared. What's difficult, because yes, do stuff for you and not for other people, 100%. But it's difficult as a child when your parents tell you to do things. It can be difficult to navigate the self-identity waters, So I would say give yourself grace. Hopefully you're not in a situation like that where your parents constantly yelling at you. It does make the anxiety worse, and it makes clear thinking harder to do because your anxiety is very loud and it's like static, just buzzing around in you. So I hope that you have a better experience in that. But do find the things that are meant for you, You will enjoy them more if it's things that you like. And if maybe you can give your parents a compromise, like, hey, I could do this other team for a year, versus this sport because I don't like this activity, And that's also dependent on whether you're able to have that open conversation with your parents or not, But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Links down below to become a patron to get the uncut reaction to all the shows and anime we check out. I love you guys as always. And until next time, buddies. Toodles.